What's up, guys? Welcome back, Bear Down. Happy freaking Mother's Day. Hey, for those who are moms that are watching, happy Mother's Day. Hope you have the most special of days, that you get celebrated, that you feel special today. And for those who have moms, which is everyone, go give your mom a hug. If your mom's not around, you give your mom a call. If your mom's passed, go visit her grave. If she doesn't have a grave, go to your favorite place where you remember your mom. Do something to remind yourself of your mother. Make your mom feel special today. If your mom needs help with chores, go help her do chores. If your mom wants you to go to church with her, go to church with your freaking mom. Do whatever your mom wants today. Love your moms. Moms are amazing. Moms are special. Happy Mother's Day. That's all I got to say about that. All right, rookie minicamp. I got nothing to add value-wise for rookie minicamp. All I try to do is share things that I guess I'm good at. Break down the salary cap, break down the roster, break down where things stand with things. I do know I'm excited by some of the things that are coming out from camp. Eric Bieniemy yelling at the players, "Don't touch the cones! The cones aren't moving! What are you doing touching the cones?" That type of stuff. Ozzie Trapillo grunting as he runs, sounding like a bear, sounding like Tim Allen on a football field. I like it. I like it. I have no shot who's going to make the roster, but what I am going to do is I'm going to compare last year to this year because we are in way better shape than last year. We are in much better shape than last year. Last year, I don't think a lot of people remember. We have short memories. We have short memories. Last year, going into rookie or vet training camp or tryout camp, by May 7th of last year, we signed 6 new players to the roster because we didn't have a full roster. We didn't have 90 men going into rookie training camp last year. We had 83. We needed 7 more. It's a little bright there, bright starlight. So we had to sign 6 more. So we did that. This year, we've got a full roster. We got people coming in to compete. We are trying to find the best of the best and let the cream rise to the crop. So we already went over this, so I'm going to go over it quick. Here's all the new faces we know we brought in. Here's the undrafted free agents that signed. All 10 of them signed. Here's the rookie minicamp invitees, but we know Luke Elzinga ended up not coming, so there's 13 of those guys there. And then when the roster, whatever you call this, the roster, I can't think. Brain fart. When the entire list came out of who would be attending, there were 10 more additions that we found out about, and a lot of people aren't talking about a lot of these guys. Vincent Murphy from Tulane, very solid center. Braden Kim, 6'9", 322 pounds with good leverage. Nana Acer Osafo Mensa, solid defensive end. There's a lot of really good options here that the Bears have to play with. But I want to take it back to 2024, what happened. So here's 2024. Here's the list of all the guys who ended up coming to rookie minicamp and those who were also vet tryouts who didn't have any service time on their record. And sorry, I said the 7th, didn't I? The rookie minicamp was the 12th last year. So on the 13th, we signed John Jackson, Leon Jones, Deshaun Mallory, Paul Mola, Freddie Swain, and Tommy Sweeney. We added 6 guys. And then right now you can see still a year later, we got 2 of those guys that are on the 90-man roster. So there is some viability that some guys can come out of this camp and make a lasting impact, make this roster. So here's our current 90-man roster. I'm just going to break it down and show you guys in a way now. I have my graphic with the visuals. I'm going to show you at the very bottom is going to be the minicamp tryouts and who they're going to have to beat out to make the 90-man roster. I'm not focused right now on making the 53-man roster. That'll come later. And, some of these guys who barely make the roster, maybe they'll be practice squad players that we hope to develop, that we can get something out of. But right now, Deion Hankins and Austin Reed are on the 90-man roster. So basically, Christian Grubb needs to try to beat out Deion Hankins or Travis Homer. They need to beat one of them out to make the 90-man roster. I'm not looking at cutting down 53 right now. So this is what this graphic will do. It'll show you the guys on the bottom trying to work their way onto this roster, which is it's one of my favorite parts about the offseason. Just who's going to fight their way to make this roster, who's going to be that underdog, who's going to be that dog that becomes a new Chicago Bear. So as I move it to the offensive line, I moved Doug Kramer over to the side. These aren't completely specific to position. It's right tackle, right guard, center, left guard, left tackle. That'll fit up here. But down below, as you get down here, these are actually pretty close. But Doug Kramer would fit at center, obviously. That's the only position he's played. But these ones, Vincent Murray is. Braden Keem's a right tackle, but they don't all perfectly fit. Just know these 5 guys are looking to upend Theo Benedict, Jordan McFadden, Ricky Stromberg, Chris Glazer, Joshua Miles, Doug Kramer. And I'm telling you right now, someone is going to make this roster. Someone is going to get cut, and someone's going to make this roster next week. So I'm trying to prepare for who. I really, really like Braden Keem. And yes, he went to BYU, and I was a fan of. That's who I grew up watching and rooting for. I get that. I also like Vincent Murphy as a center. I'm not going to get too deep into who I like and why I like, but there's someone that's going to make this roster. All right, since this is not going to be a graphic I continually use, I got sloppy with it. You can see I just had to draw a line to separate the tight ends. Sorry, I usually take more pride in my graphics, but you know what, guys? I'm just squeezing these guys on here because next week this graphic won't even be close to the same. But look at all the wide receivers we got in the building. DJ Moore, these guys are, I don't know. I don't know if Tyler Scott's going to be the backup. One of these guys might fight their way up here after we get to actual camp. But is Jeremiah Walker going to work his way on to this roster? That's my biggest question on one of the 90 men. I hate to say nepotism, but it always felt to me like John Jackson did not deserve to be on this football team, that he's here because of Caleb Williams. If you think that's the case, I want to see your comments because I haven't seen the talent out of John Jackson. We just know he's one of his best friends. He's always with him and stuff. At the Bulls game and the playoff game, he was there courtside with him. I mean, there was one of his best friends. Is that the reason he made this roster, this 90-man roster, and then practice squad and sticks around? Is that the reason? I don't know. I'm not trying to accuse. I'm not trying. Yeah, kind of am accusing, aren't I? But I don't like the reason for him staying for nepotism. When Jeremiah Walker, he replaced Rome Odunze. For those who don't know, Jeremiah Walker. Now, I'm not saying he should have been drafted, but to me, he was a verge draft guy. He was a guy right there in the 7th round. Right there as a close to undrafted free agent guy. 6'2", 6'1" by a lot of places, 205, 210 pounds, good sized wide receiver. But more important than anything, you guys remember me raving about Rome Odunze last year with his contested catch ability and low drops? Jeremiah Walker had an 87.5 contested catch rate. Now, albeit it's with half the sample size of Rome. Rome had and the more sample size you have that goes up, the more difficult it is. But Jeremiah Walker had an 87.5, and he was one of the lead receivers from Washington. He also had zero drops all year. And over his course of his 4-year career, it's still consistent. It was around 3% drops. So that's extremely freaking low. Contested catch rate over his career is also consistently high. So you're telling me Jeremiah Walker might not make this roster over John Jackson? You hear good things about J.P. Richardson in camp. You hear things about Ja'Day Walker, some of these older guys. Miles Boykin trying to fight their way on the roster. Samori Torre, Maurice Alexander from the Lions. Could he make last year? Steven Carlson making the roster. Joel Wilson, Jordan Murray being invited this year. Will one of these guys, will Reggie Brown, who's undersized, more of a receiver. I wonder if they're using Reggie Brown as a big wide receiver, if he actually fits over here. I wonder. Dominic and Thomas Gordon from Northern Illinois is a great option. Could he end up upending Joel Wilson or Jordan Murray or Steven? I don't know. You get some youth with some of these guys. Sign a 3-year contract as an undrafted free agent. That's what you get. You get 3 years to develop them. I like the options here on this page. Some of these guys could make this roster. Again, kind of squoze some of these guys in here, so I apologize. But you see, as undrafted free agents, we picked up Jeremy Robinson, Xavier Carlton. So they're both edges on the outside. Our 3 defensive tackles in the middle. We got Gio Paez. Could he end up upending Chris Williams on the 90-man roster? We cut Chris Williams and save over $3 million. Could he upend Zach Pickens? I don't know. Nana Acer Osafo-Mensah, Cole Nilsson, both battling it out at defensive end. Could they upend Jeremy Robinson? You guys know I love Jamari Cromwell from last year, and the Bear seems to have been putting in some work. And I mean the Bear because he looks like a freaking Bear too, not just because he's on the Chicago Bears. So there's your defensive line. Here is your linebackers and nickelbacks. Ooh, sorry about that. This one, I'm not positive on the nickelbacks because you'll see how many corners are on the next page, and I don't know who they plan on converting over because there's some bigger guys, 6 feet plus, who move quickly, who could convert to nickel, who played more outside corner at college. But right here, all you've got is Michael Batten. I don't know if it's Batten or Baton. Battling it out with Carl Jones or Power Eccles, or maybe they add them and cut another position. I don't know. We'll end up seeing what happens, but someone's going to get cut. Then last but not least here, I did the same thing. I had to do a little rinky-dink. So these are your safeties, and these are your safeties for 90-man camp, and your guys trying to upend them. So Bryquise Brown and Jeremiah Walker trying to upend Major Burns, Alex Cook, Tyseem Johnson, or Tavarius Moore. And over here at corner, could one of these guys be a slot nickel? We'll end up seeing, but Brian Addison, Sheldon Arnold, Devin Kirkwood, Isaiah Green, and Jordan Mahoney, all trying to make a spot onto the 90-man roster. Again, we're focusing on the 90-man roster right now, not the 53-man roster. And then last but not least, the only one on special teams that's trying as a minicamp tryout, Lachlan Wilson. And you know what? I would think they do take 2 punters into the 90-man camp so they can have 2 options to practice with. You got 90 guys there. So will Lachlan Wilson shift over here, make the roster with, I would assume everyone on this page is going to make the 90-man roster. This is just the speculations of Adam. And I think there's a good shot that both Luke Elkin and Jonathan Kim make this roster. I'm not trying to bash on Cairo Santos, but when you got a guy that you can have 3 years of cheap control that has very few misses, that has good consistency, I think they're just going to want to see in Chicago how he handles the wind, how he handles the cold, how he handles different scenarios. It's not going to be cold during spring camp. That was dumb. How he handles different scenarios in 90-man camp. So he'll have a shot. Luke Elkin, though, has a lot of experience long snapping with Torrey Taylor. So that one's an interesting one to me. But let me know what you guys think about these guys you see across the bottom. So you watch the bottom here. You go all the way across, and you see those 2, that one. And then you see all these guys across the bottom here. Michael Baton, those 3, those 4, those 5, those 2, and which one's going to make this roster. So that'll be interesting. We'll find out next week because they always do this right after camp. They don't drag this thing out. They'll make a couple cuts. They'll sign a couple guys. Who it is, I have no clue. But I wanted to share that to show where the camp battles are. There will be some changes come next week. I'm excited to see what those are. But for today, go enjoy your moms. Go enjoy your moms. Make sure your moms know that you love them. If you're estranged from your mom, figure it the freak out, man. Figure it out. Get this crap figured out. Go enjoy your moms. Appreciate you guys, all that you do. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, the Bears. Bear down.
Bear down, sports making Chicago proud.
Love you, Mom.